Hi, me again. And I didn't realize that the camera's super out of... Whatever, good enough. Unfortunately, here I am again, adding an addendum to an addendum to an addendum. Yesterday I put up a video where I was reading aloud and discussing just some of the latest by Felipe really toxic messages I got from, I guess, a longtime follower who occasionally would DM me with like, hey, how are you, you know, on Discord, like every now and then, every few months for a few years, and like I'd be like, oh, I'm fine, blah blah blah, like, you know, very like you would talk to someone in a grocery store. And even in the past, he would like be like, hey, want to do a 1v1 chat? And I was always like, sorry, I'm too busy or whatever. Finally, yesterday, I got tired of, you know, him continually trying to press the 1v1 chat. And so I was like, guy, I'm just going to be honest. The way you keep trying to push the 1v1 is creepy. The answer is no. And then, as I read in yesterday's video, of course, he like flipped the fuck out, called me an attention whore, insisted we were like best friends, and I was a dumb bitch for not knowing that. And of course, the classic line, "I'm the nicest guy ever. You're a lost bitch." Yeah. So anyway, if you wanna recap of that, go ahead and watch that other video, at least until my dedicated cabal of haters gets that video taken down for some false flag like nudity or something, you know, like they've done with previous videos. Anyway, so I put that video up. I cut it up into parts as well, and I put it up on Twitter because getting people to go from Twitter to YouTube and YouTube to Twitter, and God forbid anyone else to Mastodon or anything else like that is more difficult than herding cats. Anyway, I put it on, and you know, for the most part, people that actually follow me, that actually support me or whatever, were on my side about things and were like, you know, I apologize on behalf of all men that you have to deal with so much like that. And, you know, I am not, you know, interested in blaming all men for the actions of a few men. I will, of course, throw in that it's not that we think that all men are horrible, it's that we don't know which ones are. And it puts our very real physical safety in danger to assume that all men are good until proven otherwise. That's why, you know, we're always a little nervous when we're like alone in a parking lot or something with a man or whatever. And yeah, a woman might be, you know, a bad guy too, but statistically it's very unlikely. Anyway, I'm shivering a little bit because it's cold up here, but so what I wanted to talk about in this video is I just got some responses that I thought were worth discussing. Don't know who this guy is. I don't recognize his name on Twitter, so I don't think I've had any past interactions with him. He goes by Dark Yagami /they/them, and the @ name on Twitter is Black Heisenberg, and he's got a picture of, you know, Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. And I don't know if the they/them is sarcastic or not. I briefly looked at his profile and it looks like he is libertarian, which is not surprising. Anyway, so, you know, I posted, this was in response to me just posting the screenshots. This wasn't even in response to the video that I did yesterday. This was in response to the screenshots of the conversation that I talked about in the video. And again, you know, the guy in the comments, I had said, like, I didn't even know who he was. I just politely was like, thanks for us, you know, like, thanks for the support or whatever. But he was insisting that he was like my best friend because occasionally I would say like, thanks for your support. So this Dark Yagami guy says, you've led this person on if you've been replying to them for years. This person is likely mentally unwell, but you refuse to accept your side of responsibility in this. Married women do not belong on the internet sharing their lives. It is a disgrace. This is where it leads. There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I'm not even sure if this person is trolling. Unfortunately, you know, Poe's law of where you can't really tell, well, it supposedly begin with, you know, hardcore Christians versus parody accounts, but of course that goes for anything, is just more true than ever. I mean, regularly we have things show up in the news that people are like, is this the Onion? It's not? Oh God, we're all gonna die. But pretending that this guy is in earnest, let's see. So first of all, you've led this person on if you've been replying to them for years. Couple things about this. One, politely responding to someone is not leading them on. Is not saying, you know, I didn't tell you to fuck off and die the first time you talked to me, therefore I owe you sex. And if you think it is, that is an insane opinion to have. even if I had done as this person is allegedly telling me I'm supposed to do, where I guess I was supposed to say, you know, not interested this first time he messaged me or something, because he wasn't like, hey, you want to go on a date? It was like, hey, how are you? How's the family? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't, it was, you know, why women are very suspicious when a guy even does something like, oh, that's a cool book you're reading or whatever, like, chances of them actually being interested in the book are pretty slim. They're probably just trying to hit on us, which even then is not necessarily a bad thing as long as they keep it polite. But that's the thing, is this guy, he kept trying to like angle these like, let's do a 1v1 chat things in. Not the guy that I'm responding to, the guy that the screenshots of the conversation that this guy is responding to. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, so even if I had like at the beginning of him messaging me just been like, made the assumption that that was what he was after, which surprise he was, but you know, had just been like, you know, thanks for your support. By the way, just want to make sure I'm never going to give I'm never going to do a 1v1 chat with you or something. Then invariably, the guy who freaked out at me still would have freaked out, and he would have been like, well, you stuck up, bitch, I never said that, blah, blah, blah. So, like, basically, you know, nothing a woman can answer or do is ever okay unless it's yes. Yes, I will give you your 1v1 chat. Yes, I will give you your nude pictures or whatever it is. Because again, the situation as it happened is this guy would DM me off and on over years, and I would just politely be like, hey, you know, thanks for the support. No, I can't do a 1v1 chat. I'm busy. Finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. The answer is no. Freaks the fuck out. I'm supposed to take responsibility for it. And then the other scenario where I guess I like guessed at the beginning, which, and you know, again, probably would be true, but I think it's rude to automatically assume that that's what a man wants and treat him, you know, vile based on that assumption. I try to give people a chance to prove if they're a good person or not. I'm not saying that I like instantly trust them and like, you know, don't weigh what they're saying with what they are, you know, their intentions seem to be. But anyway, so either in those scenarios, I'm somehow called a bitch and in the wrong, according to this guy's logic and according to the guy that, you know, freaked out at me. So yeah. Second part of this is, this person is likely mentally unwell, but you refuse to accept your side of responsibility in this. Again, this sounds like a guy is trolling me, like he's trying to get a rise out of me, which, again, Poe's Law, who knows? But again, saying that I'm responsible for some dude's alleged mentally unwell mindset, which is why he called me an attention whore and a bitch for not wanting to give him a 1v1 chat, is insane to say. What? And of course, you know, it always ties back into the whole white cis males can never be held responsible for anything. Anytime a white cis male goes on a mass shooting, it was, oh, he was a lone wolf, oh, he needed mental help, you know, healthcare or whatever. That excuse is never given to non-cis white men. And even if that was the reason, like, that doesn't mean that they don't bear responsibility for their actions. Even if this guy that freaked out at me is mentally unwell, which, I mean, what does that even mean? You know, it's a spectrum of what you can be. That's not an excuse to be a vile piece of shit. You can have, you know, for instance, like, I have a really hard time reading people's emotions. I'm very blunt, and I am, you know, I have a hard time. I try to be entertaining, but a lot of times I come on too strong and I'm annoying or whatever like that. But that doesn't mean that if I piss someone off, like, they're not allowed to be upset with me. Like, it's nice if they're understanding that I'm not trying to be, but they don't owe me forgiveness for accidentally offending them. And again, like, thinking that I owe him understanding for calling me all this shit is an insane thing to say. I'm not being hyperbolic. That is a thing that is lacking sanity to say. And then finally, married women do not belong on the internet sharing their lives. It is a disgrace. This is where it leads. This sounds like, how do I say this delicately? I get a lot of responses from a lot of men from a lot of different cultures. And there are definitely some cultures out there that are known for being even more restrictive of women. You know which ones they are. That's what this sounds like. This sounds exactly like a lot of those comments I get where it's like, your husband lets you do this, or, you know, aren't you ashamed to do this? You know, your husband must not love you, like all this other stuff. And I mean, I get it from evangelical, you know, male type people too, which, again, looking at this guy's profile, I didn't really get the hint of evangelical. I think he's just some cryptocurrency libertarian douchebag, which, you know, Overton window, bang, bang. Alt-right, alt-left, bang! Anyway, but yeah, just this whole thing, it's really hard not to think it's trolling, because just like the comments that he's responding to, it's so stereotypical. Woman said no to me, so I'm gonna flip out and call her all these bad, bad words. It just blows my mind that people today still will say, by people I mean men, will still talk this way and not just like realize how insane they sound. The other thing that the guy said that was also in response to the same thing is, this person has a point. Being on the internet oversharing your life about how tired and stressed you are is a dishonor to your marriage. Huh. Dishonor. Also a word I hear a lot from particular parts of the world. You don't purport yourself. He misspelled purport, by the way. Tries to use a big fancy word and doesn't even spell it correctly. As a married woman, so why do you expect to be treated as such? It seems like you want the cake and to eat it too. So again, going back to the last part of the previous comment, I'm curious what he thinks purport myself as a married woman is. Seems pretty clear. He means a quiet, demure, never complains, and is always like, my husband is perfect, and our marriage is just so good and just so great. I just bless God to be married to him every day. So because I don't do that, I'm shaming my husband. I deserve to be treated vilely on the internet. Blah blah blah. Like, I'm very honest about the problems I have with my husband, and, it's not an approach for many. And just so you know, my husband is fully aware of everything that I say. He doesn't give a shit. That's actually part of why I have so much friction with him, because he's so, like, he's so unbothered by, if I have an issue, he'll just be like, well, I'm right, you're wrong, blah, blah. But I'm not going to get into that. Point being that, yes, there's like this belief that, people on social media only put out perfect pictures of their life and they're hiding all the bad shit or whatever. I don't do that. I put pictures up showing the good and the bad. I'm very honest in my videos. It is me. It is not an act. It would have been safer probably to put on an act, but that's just not me. I'm just not. I enjoy acting in like a skit or something, but for the long term of making my videos or whatever, I'm just not interested in pretending to be something that I'm not. I definitely do try to be less angry. I try to be more, pleasant, but it's just kind of hard when this is the kind of stuff I'm dealing with. I also, I took a glance at the comments on the video that I put up yesterday, and like one of them was supportive, and then the rest were all like, oh, this ugly, or I'm only here to whap to her tits, or, she has such an ugly personality, she's such a Karen. Of course, like all terms, like witch hunt and everything, Karen has lost all meaning, because that's just what alt-right trolls call any woman they don't like. Like a while ago, I was apparently, I was overwhelmed on one of the only videos I ever posted on TikTok, which was a fucking asshole playing golf in the middle of a children's playground. He was hitting balls full strength, and I was like, why the fuck is this guy playing golf in the middle of a playground where there's kids everywhere? And all the comments were calling me a Karen and be like, just mind your own business. He's hitting fucking golf balls with a fucking golf, hard little golf balls around children. Fuck that guy. Anyway. But the thing that's funny about comments like that is, why do they keep coming back to my videos if they find me so unpleasant? I mean, you can't even, like, I deleted all my, even my censored from the chin down videos, because it doesn't matter, they're getting banned anyway. So it's like, literally the only reason to come to my channel is to hear me talk. And you're still complaining about it. Like, I don't know, it's just so strange to me. I don't get it, because, like, I'll watch pieces of a viral video clip of, he who must be not be named and all his little acolytes or whatever, but only to watch, like, the good, the really dumb parts or whatever that are being dragged across the internet or whatever. I can't imagine like going to the channel of someone I hate and watching their videos just to leave negative comments on it. Like, how is that enjoyable? Like, there's so much out on the internet that you could watch that you could actually enjoy. Why are you hate watching stuff just to complain? I don't know. But yeah, so I just thought it was kind of funny to be getting responses like that. Like I said, most of the responses I've gotten, at least on Twitter, are from those of you who aren't loser douchebag bro whatevers, and who rightly are agreeing that the guy freaking out at me for saying I don't want to do 1v1 chats with him is the one in the wrong, and not that I'm responsible for leading him on for responding to his DMs sometimes. And also that whether or not he is mentally unwell does not make it my responsibility to let him do whatever he wants. Very interesting. But yeah, the point of this video remains the same as last video. If you want the world to be a better place, if you want to see vile behavior like this not be the norm, you have to step up. You have to say something. You don't have to, physically put yourself in the way. But even online, even in YouTube comments or whatever, if you see someone talking in this like all women are bitches and they only talk to you because they want your money kind of rhetoric, you do have to speak up and just be like, that's not true. Or counter argument, if you think that they're only interested in your money, well, why are you only interested in the girls you think are hot? Like, it's a two-way street, buddy. Anyway, because as long as you are staying quiet, even though you might feel like, I support the women in this situation, if you're not speaking up and using your privilege to help, your support of them actually be known, then you're just enabling the assholes. You're just enabling the toxicity to begin. And I mean, same thing goes with, racism and gay phobia and everything like that. Like, if you hear people saying vile things, even if the person that they're talking, being vile towards is not there, like it's just a joke that they say in a locker room, locker room talk or whatever, talk about it. Say, I don't think that is true. And I think that you are making yourself look like a buffoon for saying that. And also that you're making the world a worse place, but I mean, who cares? They probably don't care. I don't know. Anyway, those are just some thoughts. I'm gonna go downstairs and play some Super Smash Bros with my 5-year-old now. So, thanks for watching. Bye.